Hey, what's up guys? So today we're going to be looking at the Diode Dynamics C-Lights. We're going to open up this box, take a look at what comes in here, and then we're going to throw them in the WRX and I'll show you how you install those. So let's open up the box, take a look at what's inside. Underneath this bubble wrap, you've got your drivers. You got a wiring harness here, some taps, and then you got your C-Lights in this static-free bag here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up and we'll take a look at what the C-Lights look like. Slide them out. So here it is out of the package. It's very clean. See, those solders look really good on there. And the LEDs look good also. And then your wire harness here also looks really good. So when you're putting these in, I highly recommend you use new seal for your headlights. I opened up my headlights the beginning of the year and painted them black, and I did not use this. So time has gone on and now my headlights have condensation in them. So that's part of the reason why I'm doing this, because I want to reseal them because I don't want any more leaks in my headlights. There it is. So now that we've seen the C-Lights and we've got our sealant here, let's go ahead and back the car in and then we'll get started. So if you've never taken off your bumper before, I suggest going and finding a video that shows you how to take the bumper off. In short, there's 10 millimeter bolts up top and a bunch of clips on the top and the bottom that you'll have to take off. So go ahead, check that out first, and then you can come back to this point. Okay, so first thing we got to do is take out our bolts that hold this frame in around the outside of the headlight. There's a bolt underneath the blinker here and two in front using a 10 millimeter wrench. Now to get the headlight off, we're going to take off our bolts on top. And then there is a small pop clip right here. You should be able to pull your headlight straight out. And then disconnect your wire harness. Now your headlight is out and it's ready to take apart. So on this headlight, everything is exactly the same, except there's an additional pop clip on the side right here, right next to the other two bolts. So we'll just take out all the 10 millimeter bolts right now, and then we'll worry about the pop clips. There's headlight number 2. Okay, so before we get into the process of disassembling the headlight, I did this one really fast, and I'm going to show you what everything is, just in case I missed something during the disassembly process. So there's 6 bolts that hold this together before you try to pull your lens apart, and they are one's right here, one's right here, there's one inside of here, and then there's 3 down the side. Make sure you get all those out before you even attempt to try to pull the lens off. So if you've never pulled this lens apart before, you don't have to bake it, but I recommend that you use a heat gun, a blow dryer, put it in the oven for a minute, because the sticky, the gasket that goes around this lens is super tough, and I hate it. And this is my housing that I painted. I masked the outside ring of the halogen just to kind of give it an eye look to it. And then I masked inside of the C-Light. I'm hoping that it'll kind of project it a little bit easier. We'll see how that turns out in the end. Masking this was extremely difficult. So if it doesn't turn out better than what it would look like normally, I would not recommend doing it. It took me forever to mask that when I originally painted this. Same with this ring too, that took me forever also, just because I was being super particular about how well I did it. So that's what that looks like. If you want to go for this look, go for it. Takes a while, but it's worth it, I think. And your C-Light lens cover goes right here. And if you look on the back of the lens cover, there's 4 clips that holds this in. And this was the hard part. First I unclipped these, and then it kind of released this end, and then you have to squeeze both of these together and press them out at the same time. It's not super easy, but it's not super hard. Just kind of a pain. And then if you're going to paint a reflector right here, let's take a look at the back. There's 3 little tabs. You should only have to just press 1 and it should fall right out. So now that I kind of showed you everything, let's go ahead and run a clip of me taking everything apart and you can see how it works. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out all of our bulbs and set them aside. You're going to twist out all your bulbs. You're going to need to unscrew the connector. Kind of start pulling it apart. Unscrew. 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 Then you can set this off to the side. Now we're going to take off the 6 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 was on the inside, right in here. Okay, and then when you have all your screws out, you're going to need to unpop all these clips that are on top of your headlight and on the bottom of your headlight. So pop those back. It's easy enough, you can just use your fingers. And then once you start doing that, I will start prying apart the lens. Now this is where I recommend heating it up or putting it in the oven. Whatever method you want to use, go ahead and try it out. But since I've already done this before, it's not as hard to take apart. Now that the lens is taken care of, I would start taking off all of this gasket right now while it's still, before you take out the inside of your headlight. It's super sticky and it really sucks to work with. Now that the gasket is out, we will take out these screws that hold in the housing. There's one right here, and one right here. Okay, now that the housing is out, we're going to flip it over to take out the C-Light. And on the back side, there are the two clips right here, and then there's one here, and then one down inside of here. So I recommend releasing this one first, and then releasing this one. And so now you'll have to press both of these together and press them all out at the same time. There's your C-Light. So let's take a look at how good the C-Light fits inside of the housing. You got tons of room up here, and then you get up around the top, and it doesn't really go in. It'll go, but you kind of have to force it. And then if you look around the bottom, you can see that it fits pretty snug inside of the bottom. And then when you come up and around the side, it sticks out, so you'll have to like press it in there and figure out how to get that thing to sit in there. So let's go ahead and put the lens on and we'll see how it fits. Okay, now that our lens is all done, we're going to start putting in the sealant inside of the headlight. You're going to pull it out and you're going to keep this in one strand and you're going to feed it inside of the headlight. Once you go all the way around, we're going to put it inside of the oven so that this rubber can melt and it can adhere to the lens a lot easier. So now that we got the sealant in there, we're going to take our headlight, we're going to take the lens, we're going to stick our connector through the hole, we're going to press this on. Then once we press it in, we're going to go throw it in the oven so that it can soften up and we can get it really pressed in there good. So I just took this out of the oven. I'm gonna press it all back together. It's really freaking hot. While it's hot, I'm going to put the screws in. So now that we're done putting all of our wiring in, it's time to put the T-taps in. Just put one on each wire. Use a pair of pliers to crimp it on. Do one on the red and one on the black. Once you have those in, you're going to take your harness, and the black will go plug right into the black, right on the side, and then the white will plug into the red. And if you want your turn signal to work, you're going to put your yellow wire with your blue wire down on your blinker. So you'll have to put this in your bumper first before you can wire this part up. So let's go ahead and put the headlight back into the car. So here's your turn signal. We're going to put a T-tap on here right now before we get too much further along. Now that's done. Here's the yellow wire. Now all we have to do is just plug that directly into the turn signal, and then you're done. So I'm going to get all this stuff zip tied away and looking nice and pretty underneath here, and then we'll go ahead and try them out and we'll see how they look. Okay guys, everything's all done back here. Got the bumper on, got all the wires zip tied out of the way, and I kind of waited for the sun to go down so that we could get a good look at what the car looks like with it kind of in a dim lighting. So anyways, we're all done. Let's take a look at it, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. We'll see you guys later.